Have you wondered what it would be like to use the launch rail in real life? No? Well, too bad, I have. But before I get into the shockingly super duper scary and deadly dangerous nature of the launch rail, I need to address a few things from the last video. Never mind. So originally, I was gonna ask ModMail for the heights of the player, but when I got no reply, I used Kale0's measurements. The morning after I uploaded the video, ModMail replies, so all the calculations from the last video aren't accurate, so I did them all again. As the new height was 143 centimeters tall, that means the acceleration is now 11.44 meters per second squared, and the mass is 364.45 kilos, meaning the new force is 4,169.31 newtons. This would still be a velocity of 29.78 meters per second for a human, and they'd travel 14.89 meters in half a second. So the new conclusion is, you die, but just a little less. Now that we have that out of the way, we can calculate whether a human can use launch rail or not. Launch has two parts, the launch and the bounce. We'll start with the launch. Since the launch is horizontal, it's a little harder to calculate the distance, but I estimated that each grid on this wall is around the player's height, and when launching, you travel about 5 grid spaces. This means that you travel around 715 centimeters or 7.15 meters. Since it takes around 0.36 seconds to travel this distance, but the velocity is around 19.86 meters per second, meaning the acceleration is 55.17 meters per second squared. We can reuse the mass from earlier, which means the force is 20,106.71 newtons. That is almost 5 times more than Yank Grappler. If a human used launch rail, it would be a velocity of around 103.41 meters per second. That means a human would go 37.23 meters in 0.36 seconds. That is around 10 to 15 times more than an astronaut during takeoff. That is obviously gonna kill you instantly, but turns out mag bounce is even deadlier. The mag bounce redirects all speed wherever you are facing, so let's say you launch and then mag bounce backwards. That means if you launch into a mag bounce, it converts all your speed backwards. Although this happens instantly, I'll assume it takes 0.01 seconds because dividing by 0 is bad. This gives us an acceleration of 20,682 meters per second squared, which is a force of 7,537,554.9 newtons. If a 70 kilo human had that amount of force applied to them, that would be an acceleration of 107,679.36 meters per second squared. However, since it takes 0.01 seconds, the velocity is 1,076.79 meters per second, or 3,876.44 kilometers per hour, meaning a human would travel 10.77 meters in 0.01 seconds. Or in just 0.1 of a second, a human would travel 107.68 meters. Let that sink in. Anyways, I might do swing and I might not. Make sure to smash that like subscribe button before I